Hi there. Welcome to Module 3 for Introduction to JMC. In this module, we're going to be talking about the public sphere and the fourth estate, two concepts which are really important alongside convergence and globalization for your first assignment. Now, the fourth estate is the belief that the central role of journalism and the media in general is to act as a watchdog on behalf of society and monitor the activities of powerful institutions and individuals. It's the job of journalism to report abuses of this power, defend the rights of citizens, and give citizens the information necessary to hold those responsible to account. Now, the question everyone always asks is, if journalism is the fourth estate, what are the other three? Now, historically, the first three estates, if you like, were the clergy, the nobility, and the townsmen. And I use that gendered term deliberately because it was about blokes. Now, the fourth estate really refers to journalism's ability to keep check on government, business, and important social institutions, such as the education system, the police, and the courts. Journalism has a long and proud history of acting as a watchdog on the powerful. In the 1970s, US President Richard Nixon was brought undone by the work of Woodward and Bernstein through their Watergate investigation. In Queensland, during the 1980s, decades of systemic political and police corruption were exposed by the hard work of journalists Phil Dickey from the Courier Mail and Chris Masters from Four Corners. These journalists literally brought down corrupt politicians who weren't acting in the best interests of their citizens. More recently, the investigations by Guardian journalist Nick Davies into the News of the World phone hacking scandal almost brought down Rupert Murdoch's media empire. The public sphere, or the concept of the public sphere, is derived from the ancient Greek concept of the agora, or marketplace, where philosophers would gather to discuss important ideas. Historically, this idea of the public sphere, or the marketplace of ideas, moved into the coffee houses and salons of 18th and 19th century Europe. Now we think or argue that the public sphere exists primarily in the media. Now that means, in contemporary terms, it's a metaphorical space, like it doesn't actually exist as it did in ancient times, but it's a metaphor where people can debate and exchange ideas and discuss issues in order to reach agreement about matters of importance, free from social prejudice and social distinction. So it's a space where people can come together equally. Like the fourth estate, the public sphere is a central concept in understanding the relationship between media and democracy. In particular, both ideas tap into the relationship between governments and citizens, and the value of public debate in a democracy, and how it should be conducted. But are these concepts still relevant in a world of 24-hour celebrity news and the massive growth of the public relations industry, which exists in many instances to deliberately prevent journalists from doing their job? Does WikiLeaks qualify as journalism? Is WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange a journalist? Or is he, in the eyes of the US government at least, a criminal? And what happens to the quality of big picture national conversations about really important topics like asylum seekers and same-sex marriage when all the internet seems to do is give us funny cat videos from BuzzFeed and encourage us to change our Facebook profile to a rainbow flag?